afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Gym Owners Fitness Business Podcast, proudly supported by MyZone and Fitness On Demand. Today, I'm actually speaking to Glen Taylor from Fitness On Demand. Fitness On Demand is a market-leading delivery platform of virtual fitness. I'm very proud to say that they are also a platinum sponsor at Ignite Fitness Business event, September the 14th. It's a Thursday at Crown in Melbourne. So we're very excited to have Fitness On Demand team on board. Good afternoon, Glen.
Hey, Mel. Thanks for having me. Nice to be here.
Oh, you're very, very welcome. Thank you for allocating some time today, because I know that Fitness On Demand is extremely busy at the moment. So thank you for doing that. Let's get stuck straight into our podcast. First of all, for people who don't know who Fitness On Demand is, who are you and what do you do for clubs?
Yeah, thanks, Mel. Firstly, thanks for taking my podcast, Cherry. I'm very happy that you're the first one that I get to do a podcast with. In regards to Fitness On Demand, Fitness On Demand is a virtual platform that operates both in club or away from the facilities, providing basically curating the highest quality virtual classes. We've also just launched a new app that is available to our members, which has the ability to do programming, helping people and clubs with multiple different things that can hopefully help the clubs develop.
So as you know, we've got two Fitness On Demand units in our club. We've got one in our group fitness room and we've got one in our cycle room. And I have to say, great decision that we made implementing them into both rooms. What I love about the Fitness On Demand product is the flexibility that it gives me as a club owner, but also as a group fitness instructor. I loved the easy process of having the product installed. You know, one day it wasn't there, one day it was, and you guys, jumped online and helped us out with some incredible support and great marketing tools that we use to sell the product to our members. What I like in the cycle room is that I have the ability that when we're teaching live classes to still be able to use some of the products that you have as a backdrop. So I'm teaching a live cycle class and I've got a virtual scenery happening in the background from some of your suppliers. And what this has helped us do is it's helped us retain our cycle members, because they're no longer coming in and just looking at, the group fitness instructor. They've now got a virtual background happening. We've also been fortunate enough to also engage the trip, which again has created a lot of foot traffic, and we've been able to do that because of the Fitness On Demand product. But also, if you could just explain this. So let's say a member misses a cycle class, they can still come into my group fitness room and they can actually do the class through the app. So on my screensaver, I've got the instructions to the member on how to download the app. They do it through their phone, and then they can actually do the class in the club. How engaging has that been since we came out of COVID? How important does that product alone play in the role of success for retention for gym owners?
Yeah, Mel, I think, what you're talking about, it couples very, very well with the in-club solution. The analogy I like to give people, and a lot of club owners and operators have heard this before, I want to get a bit fitter before I join the gym. And as you're aware, being a group fitness instructor for a long time, you're aware that a lot of group fitness classes can feel quite cliquey to an outsider who's come in. So those same members who say they want to get a bit fitter, they also feel a little bit intimidated in that group fitness environment. No matter how great our instructors are, when those people make that decision to come into the club, they are the type of people who find it really, really good to be able to do some practice classes or some classes on their own to build their confidence at their own pace without being judged or feeling intimidated in that group fitness environment. So it's a really good sort of driver for the group fitness environment to have that sort of stepping stone for people to come in. Outside of that, obviously people like to be on their own timetable, not necessarily the club's timetable. So having that ability to either go into the room on demand or to do it on their own device, to do a yoga or a mindfulness sort of section in a different or a quieter part of the club is also a great sort of value-added addition. The ability to do content on some of the hard machines, such as the treadmills or the rowers or the bikes out on the main gym floor if a group fitness class is running. There's a lot of diversity that, having access to that content can provide, let alone that hybrid solution that people have talked about post-COVID, of when people can't necessarily make it to the centre all the time, CBD locations where people aren't necessarily working in the club 5 days a week, in town where the club's located 5 days a week, having that ability to have the same content accessible to them at home has been a really good tool for those clubs to keep those members, what I refer to as sticky, or located with them. So the answer is, I guess it's been a really good complement post-COVID to help facilities who are coming out of that sort of lockdown period or the extended closures that have gone on. So it's been a very popular addition to the clubs.
You'd have to agree that virtual classes are here to stay, and the club owners should have some type of digital platform for their members, because the reality is, and though we don't like to talk about COVID has happened, and COVID is part of our business model, and having the options for people to do classes on the app is great, because that's what they were doing through COVID. They were at home, they were working out through their phone and people are still doing that. And then, of course, as you said, they come into the club, they don't want to be in a large community environment, and hence why they'll come in and they'll do a workout on their own in the group fitness room. And I see this all of the time. So when you look into the club to see how the club's going, at 10 or 11 o'clock at night, there's always somebody in the group fitness room or in the cycle room doing a class. And it's great for shift workers because, again, they can come in at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night, and they can do a yoga class. And I love the wellness nutrition segments that you have that run for 10, I think they're between 5 and 10 minutes. You've got nutrition segments, you've got meditation segments, and we actually use those. So if I'm teaching cycle at 6 p.m, I will actually schedule that for 10 to 6. So whilst the members are in the room waiting on the bike for Mel to come in and teach the class, they're actually watching one of your nutrition or your wellness segments that are on there. So there's some really great tools on there that help engage the members coming into the club. Can you just tell me, Glen, a little bit about the circuit classes that you have? So, it's incredible that someone can go in and set up multiple stations all on their own in the group fitness room, and on the big screen, there's a circuit class happening. How popular has that been?
Yeah, Circuit 365 has been a really popular addition. We did a test run on it, and we ran about 30 classes, and the uptake was really, really good. So that got increased to about 90 workouts, or, workout of the day for some people who want to call it that. But the Circuit 365 class just means that the group fitness space can be engaged when the room's not actually being used. Obviously the floor space, if you work out a square meterage rate on your floor and then you look at the 25 to 30 hours with a group fitness instructor, that's a lot of hours that space isn't actually working for you. So to have that space not just being used, but have it actively engaged creates a great environment in the club. The simplicity of the workouts is part of its effectiveness. Basically, anybody can come in at any hour of the day and have that guided workout. It works on a 2-minute timer with a 1:30 work, a 30-second recovery, and they're traditionally quite basic activities, so there's not a lot of equipment that's required. Again, the beauty is that it's safe, it's effective, it's easy for people who want to feel not intimidated to get in and have a guided workout, even if an instructor's not available, at all hours of the day. So people can work out when they want, how they want. That's one of the beautiful solutions.
And the great thing about the circuit classes too is that you can actually utilize the classes whilst you have a live instructor in there. So if you've got all the equipment that's actually in the circuit class, your live instructor can set it up. It can actually use that as a go-to tool for the live class that's happening. That was one of the great benefits for us, that we had the majority of equipment that was in those programs, and our live instructors were using them as resources, as opposed to having to engage another type of app and have it up on the TV screen. So already as a club owner, you're saving money. Now, you're going to be running a roundtable at our Ignite event in September. What are some of the things that you'll be talking about that's going to be helping club owners who perhaps don't have a virtual platform?
I think the idea is to look at how digital can support the driving of revenue, but also how you can assist in retaining members and just providing a better dynamic for your club. It's not to suggest for a second that digital replaces live, but it's how that solution of integrating both can work most effectively for the club. As you said earlier, technology is here to stay, and it's just coming up with meaningful ways and cost-effective ways that actually do drive, value back to the business. So they're some of the parts of the presentation that we're working on, is some of those solutions and concepts and ideas in which it can work.
So I've got the 2 units in my club, okay, and I've got access to the classes that are on the units. What else can the product do for me that might create profit in the club for me?
Look, there's a number of different ways in which having that digital solution can be effective. We have a product called Flex, which we refer to as our on-the-go solution. Leveraging that product can mean that an operator can have a different tier of membership if they want to offer access to the same content in club away from the facility for their members. It could be that it's just a different tier of membership where it's a value-added inclusion, or it can be obviously at a nominal charge rate, or a rate that the club feels that they want to charge for that service. They can offer that to their members. There's the ability to do live streaming through that product. So if a club starts to look at things like they want to do a nutrition seminar and they want to do a live streaming of that product, as opposed to a closed group like Facebook or Zoom where there's all of those challenges, you have the ability to centralize where you do that from on the one app. Your audience, you have to give permission for them to join, so you as the operator control that. So if you're wanting to charge additional revenue for that, or to use it to create awareness for other services in the club, to present to people who can't necessarily be in the club, there are different ways and means of which obviously an operator can do those things. Again, it might be on an evening where you have a supplements tasting in the group fitness room, and obviously some members just can't attend, but you might have a speaker that comes in with that. That speaker may give their presentation. If your members have the Flex app and you've given access to them, they might pay you $5 or $10 per member to attend that, still gain the information, and then hopefully you can gain the ongoing revenues that are come through from the supplementation discussion that invariably the nutrition company is going to talk about.
So you can actually,
there are a lot of different ways, obviously.
So you can actually use Flex like a personal training tool. Somebody might be doing their session at home. The personal trainer can jump on and give them a training session via the app. I get somebody in to talk about, say, weight loss. Again, somebody from home who can't come into the club can still sit in on the seminar, and the club owner can derive income from it. It's certainly a great, and what I love the most is just one product. It's not like I've got an app for this and an app for that and an app for something else. So I like the fact that it's all built into the fitness on demand system. How many suppliers do you have that give you group fitness programming? How many suppliers have we got on the fitness on demand unit?
Look, it's an ever-changing space, Mel, but there's traditionally about 40 group fitness providers from across the globe. The key difference with fitness on demand is it is a technology company that aggregates the best content of group fitness classes from around the globe. So the diversity and the range of equipment of classes that are on the platform is huge. There's things like, You have access to some Zumba products, Pop Sugar, Jillian Michaels, Shift One. You also do, at an additional cost, have the ability to work with another one of our partners, which is Les Mills. So to have that ability to integrate all of that product through one platform, as you said, becomes very, very important.
It's a very simple product to utilize. I haven't had any issues with it whatsoever. And, you know, at home, I know that I'm taking the 6 a.m. cycle class tomorrow morning. I can log in from home. I can set the backdrop happening for me, which creates an atmosphere in the cycle room at 6 a.m. in the morning. As you said, you can access the Les Mills programs, obviously at an additional cost. I can use the trip background also for my cycle. I can set Pilates and yoga classes automatically for my members in my group fitness room, and then I just advertise them on my social media platforms. You know, you missed yoga at 7 o'clock tonight. I've popped on the program for you at 9 o'clock. So I love the flexibility, very simplified to use. So well done on doing that. What sort of support systems do you have in place to help the gym owner along the road to launching Fitness on Demand?
Yeah, great question, Mel. Look, having a robust and stable platform is one part of it, but obviously if you don't have the ability to launch that product, it can be, you know, a white elephant. And part of the philosophy at FOD is we want to make sure that we orientate people into the product, firstly, by showing them how to use it most effectively. Secondly, by accessing the marketing content and materials that are there. So our customer experience team actually sits through and works through with not necessarily just the club owner. It can be done at multiple times and multiple events to make sure that the members of the team who need access to the platform then go through the orientation and work through a marketing plan to ensure that, firstly, before the product launches, that you train, but secondly, that the launch materials are there and available to assist. Things like social media tiles, promotional videos, and promotional information that helps support not just the launch of it, but once it's ongoing, a program to ensure that hopefully that the system is being well utilised, and if it's not, providing some guidance on how to assist with that.
Yeah, I mean, I've asked a few times, I need a little bit of help, and you guys have just been straight onto it. And you've got some incredible marketing too that we use all of the time on our social media platforms. We don't have to depend on creating, you know, anything ourselves. You've got some great videos, you've got some great resources and tools that we utilize within the club and also on our platforms. Glen, tell me, 2024, what's happening with Fitness on Demand? You've said you've just got a new product that's gone to market. What else is happening with you in 2024?
There's quite a few exciting things that are coming up, and we hope to be able to launch a few of those things in due course. One of them is we've partnered with a company in the US, and we will be launching this fairly shortly. But essentially, the way the system works is we provide a media hub with the product. What we'll be looking to do is provide an additional media hub with access to different content such as cooking shows, nutritional information, and some sporting content, but for clubs to put up and utilise in another part or area of the club. So they can do some advertising on there, they can use that screen to help create that vibe in the club. So that's going to be one of the things. Obviously, the ongoing development of the app that we've just launched is quite important. So that app has access to different recordable information that the members can have, and it has the integration of the classes in there. But we also know that members are looking for more than just access to virtual classes. So there's the ability to have some nutrition on that app. There's different challenges that can be set on there that the club can do to keep the members engaged. It might be as simple as steps challenges or
You're good.
Other things. Sorry, I just got a call coming in, and I hope it's not interrupting our
Nah, not at all.
Yeah, so there's quite a few things that are coming up in 2024 that I hope are going to be really exciting for the growth of FOD.
I mean, I love the fact that you're coming out with a product that gives me the ability to remove the TV stuff that's on there, you know, the Sky News and the Channel 7s and the Channel 9s, and actually put on, as you said, like a cooking show, that and other types of resources and education that the members would probably prefer to be engaged with, as opposed to, you know, Sunrise or the Today Show. Just let me ask a really quick question on that. So if you've got, let's say I put the cooking show on the TVs that are in front of the treadmills. Now, are the members able to listen to that via Bluetooth? Is that how that's going to work?
Really, really good question, Mel. I've only seen sort of the high level stuff on that.
This is pretty high level tech.
Yeah, but when it comes to tech, I'm not high level. So I believe yes is the answer, that there'll be the ability to have Bluetooth connection. I certainly know that there is an audio component to it, but I'm not sure how that side of it's going to work. But I do know that obviously there can be a standard volume on the TV or listening.
However it works. Yeah.
Yeah. You have caught me out a little bit on that one.
That's okay. And I knew that when I was asking the question. But here's
the blank look on my face gave that away.
That's okay.
Wonderful.
But you know what, Glen, perhaps something for the gods at Fitness On Demand to think about is, if you're going to be able to give us the ability to put that on our TVs, let's think about giving us the ability to put that onto our treadmills and our cardio equipment. Because I think that would be a great, again, it's an engagement tool for my members. They've got the option to, again, I'll just use the cooking show as an example, the cooking show, or perhaps they can do a virtual journey, or whatever the story might be, because we see a lot of members coming into our clubs and popping their iPads on top of as you know, on top of the screens. It would be great if Fitness On Demand could perhaps engage with an equipment supplier or give us the ability to hook into our screens on the cardio equipment. So there's something for you to take back to the next huddle that you have at Fitness On Demand.
The beauty of a fast-moving technology company is that there are a lot of things that are under development. So all I'll say is watch this space.
Perfect. So then we don't want everybody to watch this space. What we really want people to do is to purchase a ticket to get along to our Night Fitness Business event, September the 14th on the Thursday in Melbourne. Glen is going to be there running a round table, and he's got an incredible background in this industry. So there's nothing that you can't ask Glen. I don't doubt he'll have an answer to every single question that you throw at him. Glen, if anybody wants to speak to you prior to the event, what's the best email address for them to get a hold of you?
Best email with Fitness On Demand is just gtaylor, GTAYLOR @fitnessondemand247.com.
That's fantastic. I'm going to drop Glen's details into the bottom of the podcast. But again, I'd like to say thank you very much for coming on board as a platinum sponsor. We're very excited to have you guys there because you have an amazing tool. It's been very successful in my club. As I said, we've got 2 studios running with it, and it's created a lot of engagement and a lot of foot traffic. And it just gives us so much flexibility to deliver an incredible product to our members. Thank you for joining me on the Gym Owners Fitness Business Podcast today, Glen.
Welcome, Mel. And look, if any of this doesn't work out for you, you do such a great presentation on the product. You're welcome to my job any day of the week.
No. But when I retire.
Perfect.
Thank you.
When you retire, I can retire. That's great.
That's the way it should be.